Chancellor, Dean Academic Affairs, the Dean School of Management, Head of the Department, and the seminar convener on stage, and off the stage, heads of the departments, the deans, resource persons, students, and other scholars. First of all, I must thank the university authorities for allowing the organizers to extend invitation for me to be here as a guest of honor for this 2 days national level seminar sponsored by ICSR. When I look at this particular topic, it's very interesting, and I was listening very keenly the earlier speaker, the Dean, and our Honorable Vice Chancellor. But at the same time, I wonder how culture leads to prosperity. For a long time, we believed resources, material resources, or natural resources, which are directly influencing growth and prosperity of a nation. Of the late, we realized the soft power of culture. What I said, the natural resources, maybe any resources that we have, and the material resources which are there with us, these are all available, which we convert as usable resources for building infrastructure and for enhancing the quality of life of public in the nation. When we see this particular, the title, Cultural Tourism Development Towards Viksit Bharat, a transformative strategies for developing cultural tourism. Again, I have a few questions here. How Viksit Bharat is related to culture of a nation? And what extent cultural tourism and heritage, again align with Viksit Bharat? I fully agree with my earlier speaker, whatever they shared their thoughts about this Sanskriti Samriddhi. I wish to add a few more points over and above in linking Viksit Bharat with culture and cultural tourism development with the transformative strategies in our nation. Let us look at what is Viksit Bharat. What is the aim of Viksit Bharat? The aim of Viksit Bharat is three important things. One is economic advancement. It is not economic development. There is a difference between these two. Development in the sense you are just somewhere, you are reaching to a point and you are stopping with full stop. You say that one point to another point, we just moved. There is a development. But here, Viksit Bharat, the aim is economic advancement. There is no end for advancement. Second important thing is how culture related to economic advancement is a separate area to be understood. Second important thing is, again, in Viksit Bharat, social cohesion, cohesiveness, the second important part of Viksit Bharat. Socially, we all supposed to have a cohesiveness, in the sense coexistence, though we have several social stratas, social variations, but as far as our nation is concerned, we all have to join together with a social cohesiveness. The third important part of Viksit Bharat is respect from global. Right? We are supposed to get respect for our nation from across the countries, from all countries. Even if you say that 200 countries are there, from all 200 countries around, we are supposed to get respect for our nation. These are the three important dimensions or aims of our Viksit Bharat. Now let me come to another important thing, the role of culture in Viksit Bharat. So there are three things. In these three things, what is the role of culture? As far as culture is concerned, we have 10,000 years old civilization or cultural attributes. That is our richness. Culturally we are rich, but why we are not considered as a developed? When we say that the civilization, it shows that our existence in a modest, in a modernized manner. That is civilization. Even now also we consider the French civilization is the very finest civilization in the world. How? What is the French culture? And what is the French civilizations? Then look at the Japan culture. We all know that Hiroshima, Nagasaki, bomb attack, and completely the nation lost completely its significance and then uniqueness in all sense. Especially economically, there is a huge destruction in the nations. But within a short span of time, country like Japan became developed nation. That is one. It is it stood next to the developed nations. That is one. Second thing is, the entire world recognized Japan as the best nation for producing goods and services to the world, not for them. The nation got respect. Then, how it is possible? Again, let me come to the point, the culture. The culture and its linkage with economic advancement, where Japanese culture played very important role in economic development of Japan country. Here, I would like to drop one terminology from the cultural point of view while just reading some literature from the Japanese culture and Japanese management, because Japanese management is based on the Japanese culture. So they just talk about cultural compatibility, cultural competency, because we know the competency means is a strength, right? Ability. And when you look at the cultural competency out of cultural compatibility, so compatibility is very important because we have different cultures, because every state has its own culture. But how all these cultures combine and compatible to each other, for a common cause. The common cause is Vikshit Bharat. Right? So for the common cause, we all have to just join hands and then work in a compatible manner, and we experience the cultural competency, the strength of the culture. Strength of the culture, because the culture in the sense, no, it is all about, in a simple terms, the beliefs, norms, traditions, customs, and so on. Right? So in every culture, all these are the common. So the culture is largely based on the belief. The belief is for the well-being of human. Well-being and advancement of human being in the society. Any culture, culture is a positive only. Culture is for progress and prosperity. Right? Culture is for peaceful, the coexistence of the societal members. That is the main importance of the culture. So when you look at the cultural compatibility, so here what is required? So we need to use the culture for our Vikshit Bharat. How it is possible? Now coming to the cultural tourism, the another important segment. Right? When you look at the cultural tourism, we all know that tourism is considered as a kind of instrument to learn from different societies and different places, different destinations, and experiencing different parts of the world wherever you travel and stay. That is tourism. Now again, let us link up cultural tourism with Vikshit Bharat. So now if you look at our another 25 years, the travel which is there in front of us up to 1947, we are in the 1925. So cultural tourism development strategically in a transformative way, because we have a rich culture, rich heritage is there. But how this we are going to use for achievement of our Vikshit Bharat, as I explained about what is Vikshit Bharat, then how it is possible. Now again, there are certain the plans which are there with the Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Culture, and allied ministries. They all are supposed to work together and need to work in such a way that we all are going to develop a kind of a transformative strategies to develop the tourism, and which is going to give us a soft power and identity across the globe. We are going to get the common identity. India means like this, the branding in a business terms, right? A branding for nation based on the culture. Sometimes we thought, let us take our Bollywood as a branding instrument for India. Somehow we could not. Then again we thought, let us take cricket as a branding the tool for India. There also, of course, there are many countries with a strong teams as far as cricket is concerned. And at the same time, when we are searching for a kind of our core strength, our unique strength of India to brand or to get a kind of recognition and respect from across the globe, that is our culture. The culture we can promote again by using the vehicle of tourism. The vehicle of tourism. The vehicle of tourism is in the name of cultural tourism and heritage. Right? So there again we have certain statistics based on our predictions, and we supposed to develop tourism worth of 3 trillions. Worth of 3 trillions cultural tourism, which supposed to add to the GDP, and then we can achieve the cultural, we can achieve the Vikshit Bharat. Right? And at the same time, when you see that the further the strategic role and strategic the part of the cultural tourism, the product development. How we supposed to product, where I appreciate the organizers using the term transformation strategies. So we have a culture. If someone comes, we are just taking them to the fort which is there here, very famous in Kasaragod, and we are showing all the structures and then explaining, right? And the partners are coming and then just taking some pictures and going back. Is it enough? And what kind of strategy that is required to represent and reproduce our Bengal fort? Right? What we can do in a very strategic manner, so that the the impact of our port, right, and this is going to give the more and more on the visitors, and it reaches across the globe, right? So we need a kind of strategies. It is not just only showing and explaining our destinations, maybe heritage related, culture related, religious related, art and traditions and the norms and whatever that we have as a cultural, the resources, cultural tourism resources. These resources we need to just represent and then reproduce in the form of giving a kind of experience for the visitors. And at the same time, so why the foreigner visits our nation?